Hello traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix, and you are listening to the week ahead video for July 16, 2017. Now before I get into today's video, I have to mention, if you haven't tried the ForexAnalytix platform, make sure you do so. It's only $1 for 10 days, $1, $1 US. That's it for 10 days. And once you get subscribed, download the mobile app from the App Store or the Google Play Store so you can get all of our updates, intraday, patterns in play, analysis, charts right in the palm of your hand. And this way you can have it on the go. Because if you're like me, I may spend a lot of time in front of the computer every day, maybe 12 plus hours. I still actually run around and have a life, so and I'm sure you guys do too. So having this analysis when you're on the go is really important as a mobile trader in today's world. So make sure you do that first and foremost. Okay, now let's get into the analysis and let's get into a discussion about this last week. So this last week we saw the dollar get pummeled. On Friday, inflation data came in weak. Retail sales came in weak. The dollar got hammered, and you can see just in just taking a glance at our basic active tickers, you can see the biases for the tabs. They're all lining up, and this has been pretty much the case for the last couple of weeks. We've seen the dollar really weaken as the euro has made its way up towards the 115 level, and we closed actually above a really key channel resistance, barely, marginally, but you can see it right here. We closed right above it. I want to talk though about sentiment for a moment, because we at ForexAnalytix we don't just look at charts. Obviously, we're looking at different types of analysis, from macro to technical analysis to we factor in sentiment and positioning, and a couple of things that are really key about this week, and especially on Friday. The sentiment is so overwhelmingly bearish, the dollar right now, that it is almost a contrarian indicator, which is a little scary, because when you look at these currency pairs like the euro dollar, the euro dollar is up against channel resistance. You look at the pound, and I'll tell you, the pound probably looks the best out of the majors right now. But if you look at the pound is also at channel resistance. A lot of people are looking at it as a breakout here, but we're also at a 38% retracement of the post-Brexit move. We're at this channel resistance that has rejected the pair many different times. And when you're at extremes in sentiment, and like the pound sentiment is at 79, the euro sentiment is at 82, the Australian at 86, the Canadian dollar at 87, right, which is extreme. I mean, you look, here's the Aussie dollar. We're right at resistance, extreme bullish sentiment, right at resistance. Here's the Canadian. Let me just show you this. Here's the Canadian. Breakdown territory. Obviously there are a lot of reasons why the Canadian dollar is going higher against majors, and this is the US dollar Canadian, but I mean, we're breaking through key supports, but the sentiment is at extremes. Relative strength is at extremes. And here's another one. The Mexican peso. Let me pull up the peso really quick. Look at the Mexican peso. We are breaking down through key supports here. Extreme sentiment at 83. All right, now when I talk about extreme sentiment, it's not necessarily the time that you need to start going the opposite direction right at this moment, but it's scary, because next week, if sentiment flips and we start to see this amazingly bearish sentiment in the US dollar across the board turn, and I can't really determine a reason. I'm looking at this next week calendar, and I'm looking at for events that might actually flip sentiment around, and I don't know what it is, but you don't necessarily need a trigger. Maybe it's just price action, but you have so many different majors at such key levels with such extreme sentiment that I'm concerned that we might have a situation where you see sentiment start to change, and then you get false breakouts or false breakdowns in the dollar. And like I said, and let me take you over to the dollar index really quick. Here's the dollar index. Here's the dollar index. I mean, it is, you know, it's you know, right at some support here. You can see it. You know, we've dropped. We're kind of in between fib levels right now, but you know, relative strength is so oversold that I think the dollar could be primed for a bounce. Now, am I bullish the dollar? No, I'm not. And I haven't been. Actually, I haven't been since inauguration night. And anybody who listens to our daily webinars, our free daily webinars, if you haven't listened to those, make sure you know, follow Dale Pinkert, Forex Stop Hunter, so you can get the link. If you don't, I mean, if you've been listening, you know I've been bearish the dollar. But there's a point where you got to go, okay, well, you know, can we get a bounce? And I think the dollar is primed for a bounce. Again, I don't know what the catalyst is, but one thing, and let me pull it up over here. One thing that is for sure is volatility is at historic lows. When I talk about sentiment and volatility is at, I think 9 is what it registered at this week. Let me take a look here. It was a single day. Oh, there it is. Volatility. It's at 9. Sorry about the weight there. So volatility sentiment is at 9, which is an extreme bearish reading. How about if volatility starts to pick up? If volatility bounces from these historic lows, does the dollar maybe bounce as a risk off safe haven? I don't know. Again, I'm looking at the calendar this week, and you know, I'm like, okay, well, on Sunday we have Chinese GDP, industrial production, and fixed asset investment. You know, we have UK CPI on Tuesday. We have the BOJ on Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Thursday morning we do have the ECB, but you know, will the dollar stay this week going all the way to Thursday? Because on Thursday we have the European Central Bank and their meeting, and Mario Draghi already hinted he's going to talk about monetary policy at the Jackson Hole meeting in August. So are we going to expect a whole lot out of the ECB? You know, because everybody's thinking, okay, well, the ECB is going to talk about maybe tapering some of their purchases. Well, and that's why one of the reasons why the euro really picked up, you know, over the last couple of days, or we made this, like, you know, key reversal, especially late. It was late in the day on Friday. Here, you know, we saw it move up because of some of those comments, but I don't know what it is. I'm just telling you guys and gals, the sentiment in the dollar index is at extreme readings. We're extreme readings in a lot of major currencies. And when you get the extreme readings like this, it's kind of like if you are looking at a boat and everybody's on the port side. Is it port side? Aft side? Ah, shoot, I forget. It's been so long since I've been in the military, I forget. But yeah, 25 years later, and I forget all the lingo. Anyway, it's like everybody's on one side of the boat and the boat gets lopsided and tips over. Well, you know, that's how I feel about the dollar right now. And so I hate being the last one to the party. I always like being the first one to the party when it comes to trading. And the dollar index is obviously very oversold, very bearish sentiment. And I don't know what's going to turn it, but I have to throw out the warning that I think it might be coming soon. And so if it does come, don't be the last one in the theater when somebody yells fire, because you don't want to be there. Guys and gals, I hope you have a great trading week this next week. I'm so glad that you have listened to this video. I'm so glad that you're enjoying these videos. So if you are enjoying this video, make sure you subscribe to our channel, and also click that little thumb button. I think it's a thumb button that says you like the video, and make sure you listen to our daily webinars with Dale Pinkert. He's who we call the coach, because he is not only your wonderful host for the FACE webinars. He's also a coach and mentor to a lot of traders out there, and he could be yours too, and it doesn't cost you a dime. All right, guys and gals, thanks for listening in. This is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix. You're listening to the week ahead video for June 16th, 2017. Have a great trading week.